Wow, what a pile of awesomeness this was. So Vegeta is still pretty much knocked out from where Jiren left him, so Goku takes over. He's like, it's my turn. So then he goes up and starts fighting Jiren. But before we get into that, Frieza is still being flung around by Dispo by his tail. I'm thinking, why is he not golden yet? He's obviously being beaten by Dispo here. He should be golden. We know from past experience that final form Frieza is around base Goku level, judging from the Resurrection F saga, if not a little bit lower at this point. But we see after these few little clips that he's not even hurt, so does that make sense to anybody? It does not to me, but at any rate, it looked pretty bad. Like, Exhibit A. Is this Dispo or a donkey? So, Gohan and 17 versus Topo, pretty cool stuff, but they are not coordinating effectively as seen when Gohan gets thrown into 17 by Topo. And this might be a nitpick, but I feel that Gohan should have been the one to figure it out and to come up with a plan. But instead, 17 is the one, which I guess makes sense, and 17 is the one who goes and attacks Topo and gets his arm grabbed. But surprisingly, it was on purpose, as Gohan is charging up a reanimated or reused animated Kamehameha for the 90,000th time. So, using 17's barrier, it is pushing him and Topo toward the edge of the stage. So you're like, oh man, is 17 gonna sacrifice himself? No, because Gohan stops the Kamehameha because he doesn't want to sacrifice 17 to ring out Topo. Maybe he should have, maybe he shouldn't have. I feel like I would have done the same thing if I were in Gohan's shoes, because 17 is a great asset to their team. So when Topo is stopped at the edge of the stage, you're like, okay, go up and kick him, blast the stage from under him. And you know it's going to be one of those things where they're just not going to follow up their attack. They're just going to let him stand there for a while, where they could pretty easily blast the stage from under him or do something, like follow up their attack with something. But it's just one of those things where we've seen it so many times where a guy's at the edge of the stage and they just don't do anything. But now we get to the main event of Goku versus Jiren. Again, this time Goku has a strategy of using his instant transmission. Really cool strategy here. He's instant transmissioning around, kind of laying these little sparkles on the ground. And you'll have to wonder, what are these things? I mean, they're obviously gonna explode at some point. But what I wasn't expecting is that they're actually just landmines and they won't explode until Jiren like touches them or goes in proximity or whatever. But he steps on one and it explodes and everybody's like, he did it! He beat Jiren! Obviously, no, he didn't. Jiren is jumped up in the air. Really cool tactic, but it didn't amount to anything and it was very predictable that it wouldn't amount to anything. But Goku follows it up with another strategy of throwing a bunch of Destructo Discs, aka Kienzans, at him. Which I thought was awesome, how he was just punching him out of existence, catches the one and throws it back, cuts the mountain that Goku's standing on. And this leads to terrible looking art, Exhibit B. Look at that beautiful face. So he goes up, Jiren is punching Goku back, and Goku's like in trouble, you know? But Jiren is about to get one last blast at him. Slow motion, really cool, really well done scene here. He cuts the mountain from under Jiren's feet. In slow-mo, you see his face, he's falling. And then Goku instant transmissions above him and kicks him straight down. And I was thinking, you know, if he disappeared like Krillin did when he was eliminated, he'd be gone. But this guy fell for a long time. Like Goku, his velocity must have been thousands of times that of Krillin. And even though the Kienzan tactic worked, essentially, you know that he's not going to get it eliminated. And I liked how Krillin had the flashback to his tactic against Goku. That was pretty cool. But Jiren must be a big fan of Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, because he uses the rocks to jump off of them, even though they're falling downward just like he is. Jumps off the rocks right back into the stage. Didn't see that coming. But Goku goes back to Vegeta, and they're standing there as Jiren walks there, and I got a major Terminator vibe, like this unstoppable force just walking toward you, setting off all the mines. I guess Goku laid like hundreds of mines out there. And then we get more of Goku fighting Jiren. And so while this was really cool and all, it didn't look that great, and the whole time I'm thinking, man, how is Goku lasting this long against Jiren? Jiren must be holding back compared to the last time he fought him, when Goku was at Kaioken times 20 and getting flung around like a rag doll, not even being able to get a hit in. And now it seems like he's doing a lot better against Jiren after having his stamina reduced to 0 after fighting Jiren, and then again when fighting Kefla. So I'm kind of thinking that he retained a lot of the potential that he unlocked when he unlocked Ultra Instinct. So I'm just saying that I guess Goku's just stronger now, but at any rate, Jiren decides to kick it up a notch for some reason, and then so does Goku, I guess. So they just fight some more, and here we have Exhibit C of bad looking. So we get kind of the definitive end to this fight when Jiren's like, that's enough. Boom! Does like a hit-like punch attack through a bunch of mountains and stuff like that right past Goku's face. That was awesome. And then Goku pisses his pants. Right back to his base form. So this leads to another thing about the inconsistencies with Goku's power here. He is in his base form, he's already gotten his ass kicked a little bit, he's pissing his pants, then Jiren does a machine gun punching attack, punching him hundreds of times maybe, and he's still standing. I feel that if Jiren did that while Goku was in his blue form, Goku would be knocked out just like that. But at that moment, Vegeta steps in. Awesome shot. You see Goku in the distance, Jiren in the distance, right coming into frame, Vegeta's foot, and you're like, oh man, Vegeta's back. So, best scene in the episode, Goku's like, I'm not done, I'm gonna just push myself further, powers up, and then powers up to Kaioken, and then Vegeta's turn. And he's like, okay, now it's my turn to create a new form, and he starts powering up, and then ass pulls this power out of nowhere, and we have a Super Saiyan Rage Trunks, or an Ultra Instinct Goku and just pull massive amounts of power. And then we get the new form of Vegeta. Very interesting looking. I really like the aura here. His pupils and his eyes are really big and very prominent. And it was nice for Vegeta's character to think back about Kaba and about getting the Super Dragon Balls and everything like that. But I think it would have been much more impactful if he was thinking about his family instead. Because if you think about it, Vegeta's met Kaba maybe 2 times, Universe 6 tournament, and then a brief encounter with him during the Tournament of Power. And he's like thinking more about Kaba than he is about his own family. This would have been such a great opportunity for Vegeta to pull strength to accomplish his goals to protect his family, and then maybe even a small snippet of Kaba and getting the Super Dragon Balls and obtaining that goal as well. So there would be the protection aspect of it, protecting his family and winning the tournament that way, and also obtaining the Super Dragon Balls. It was awesome nonetheless, seeing the power-ups and stuff like that. And then Vegeta starts walking forward and we get Exhibit D. I'm just gonna consider this Exhibit D because it should have looked better, as I just said. Then we get the insert of Ultimate Battle, and we get Vegeta and Goku charging at Jiren. Really cool, effective insert of the music, and the sound design of this was really great too. I think the mixing was right on point. It made you feel the impact of, the hits and everything like that. So really cool stuff. And it was kind of an interesting concept when Whis says Vegeta and Goku aren't quite coordinating with each other. They're working together, yes, they have many times in the past, and so their rhythm with their coordination isn't quite in sync, and it's throwing Jiren off because he has a certain rhythm about his dodging and his attacks. Very interesting concept. I wonder if they are going to explore this more in the future. So really awesome stuff, really bad looking awesomeness here, or terrible looking awesomeness. And the next episode doesn't look that great either. It looks like they're really saving on their budget. I mean, episode 123, a lot of reuses of animation, like Jiren's fist move. I saw that at least 3 times in this one episode. Gohan's Kamehameha, just to name a couple. Next episode doesn't look that great, but it looks like Dispo powers up. He's got this interesting aura around him. Frieza goes to golden form finally. I'm wondering, is Dispo like showing his true power, so to speak, and why didn't he do that against Hit? So we may or may not find out in the next episode. And then Gohan is fighting him with a cage of death beams. So interesting strategy here to kind of negate Dispo's speed, I think. So looking forward to that. What did you guys think about 123? Let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, share it out. And of course, as always, take it easy.